Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today guys, I'm going to be answering the question on why we couldn't merge laptops and tablets just yet. Now, this revolves around two stuff: the I/O and the software. Now, let's talk about the I/O first because this is kind of a short one. If you look at the iPad, basically, which the iPad Pros and the whole iPad lineup, they have, Lightning, most of them, until the premium ones have like a USB-C port. And if you look at Android, which is basically Samsung right now on the tablet department, and Google a bit, they have like, a single port as well. But if you look at the Microsoft Surface lineup, they have more. They have, a bit wider range of ports you can select. They have a full-size USB one, which is still handy in most of the countries because not all the countries have made the move to USB-C. So let's say my school gave me a project to work on, and I have, basically an iPad. I have this iPad 6th generation, was released in 2018. I don't have the latest one. I can't afford it just yet. And this thing's still running smoothly to this day, I didn't need to upgrade it. But let's say I actually don't have a laptop for the reference. I edit most of my videos on my smartphone or on this iPad. If I want to work on a project on PowerPoint, for example, I have to get an adapter to copy it from from the iPad to the USB, and the adapter costs so much. If you want to buy a third-party one, they might not work. You might get scammed. I actually tried one before I bought it. Thank God I tried it because it did not work on the iPad. Basically, not only USB, because some schools actually don't accept you copy it to USB. You have to copy it to CD. So I actually had to go copy it into go to a electronic retail store, copy it from the iPad to a CD, and I had to pay basically like $3, $4 to get it copied. Now after that, basically this just pisses me off really, because now I can't copy anything between this to USB. I have to buy ports and things like that, and ports are really important in most countries, because if everybody just made the move to USB-C, which I hope everyone will in the future, we wouldn't have to deal with this problem anymore. Now the second problem is a keyboard. If you want to attach any attachment on there, and you don't want to pay Apple's crazy price, you need an adapter as well. You need a Lightning to USB adapter, or a USB Type-C to USB to full-size USB adapter. And to attach your wired keyboard if you don't have a wireless one. And if you still want a mouse, I know you could buy a wireless keyboard and a wireless mouse, but they are crazy expensive. Some of them, and the cheap ones really don't work. I'm talking about iPads right here. Now, if you want, Microsoft, this is a bit, because of the software, this is just a bit easier to work with it. So you can copy things to USB. So just basically imagine it like a laptop, but without the keyboard with it. You have to buy the keyboard separately. That's what the whole Microsoft Surface lineup is. Now, we move on from those two to the Samsung. I actually don't have a Samsung tablet, but they're making quite a big move, especially with their latest one. I know it's not quite as fast as the iPad Pro, but it's not far behind. But it has a keyboard, it has a great display, it has great stuff. Marquez did a whole video about it. Marquez from MakeItBHG, you can check it out. But still, the I/O is a thing, an issue for me and most people. That's why we can't merge iPads and laptops, or have the iPad replace the laptop. So we move on to the second thing, which is the software. Now, softwares. Apple made a good job, tried to make a good job to make the iPad as more closer to a laptop, feel closer to a laptop. And they haven't, lagged behind in anything. Now you can use a mouse on the iPad, you can use, a keyboard, anything, anything you want. You can, they unlock your USB-C port, if you have a USB-C port. If you don't, I don't know. But some people actually didn't like iPad OS on iPads like this one, which is the iPad 6 and the iPad 7, and all the iPad this kind of form factor. I don't know why. I haven't checked out the videos, but this wasn't a big issue for me. But still, the software. Basically, the software is a big issue because there are some apps that people really need that they can't still download on the iPad. So let's say on the laptop, you can download games. If you want to play a bit of games on laptop, let's say Counter Strike or things like that, those are not available on the iPad. Despite the specs power that it has, it still doesn't have games. Like some people, I know a lot of people that have games on their laptops and play video games on their laptops, and some of them don't even have desktops, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the full, thing to play with. Now, mobile games, I'm not gonna say that they're bad, but compared to PC games or PS4 games, they're not better. You know what I'm saying? And this is a shame because the latest one, the iPad Pro, not this one, has the power to match the PS4 and it has the power to match a real laptop. It just outperformed the MacBook Air in benchmarks. It can outperform, it's faster, like Apple said, it's faster than 97% of portable PCs. But it's a shame because we don't want to work only on this thing. We want also, to have a bit of fun with it. And there are also, not only in gaming department, there are also some, you know, uh, apps or programs that I can't access on this iPad or any other iPad because of the software. So please, let's fix this. The first one was easy. You could change out the I/O, but the software department is really hard. This one is not easily fixable. On one hand, you got the iPad OS, which is more mobile than a PC, even though they tried to make it more PC like. And on the other hand, you got Microsoft, and you saw the entire fiasco of the Windows 10 of the Windows Phone. So Microsoft is really not made for portable tablet or smartphone software. They're not perfect in any way. Samsung has done quite a good job with the Samsung Dex, but still it's not enough. Basically software is the whole thing around those. Basically, don't forgive me. Basically, if you wanna pick one of those three, I would suggest if you want like something that will really replace your laptop, I would suggest you buy the Surface. You buy the Surface product if you can afford it. If you can't, you will be fine with a $400 laptop. Trust me, don't buy the $400 June ones because they are trash. The Surface Go is kind of cool, but if you want to play some games on it, maybe if you get a laptop with a Core i3 8th generation and a decent GPU and 4 gigs of RAM, you can play basic games on there. But it's basically much worth than buying a tablet that has a Windows software and doesn't have a keyboard with it. And if you want to buy those two, you have to jump over to the Surface Book, which is much more expensive. I don't actually recommend you buy any of these three. I actually said the Surface tablets, because if you want something close to a laptop, and if you want something closer to a mobile but still get basic laptop stuff done, I would suggest you get the iPad. Samsung, I don't know, man. Samsung is kind of in between. I don't have something bad to say about their tablets. I haven't tried them yet. When I try them in the future, I can make a good opinion on them. But I hope those two issues get fixed. The less options, the less devices we have, the better. I hope that we can have a laptop, a tablet, instead of having two separate devices. So because now, like legit, I'm disappointed. Like this has the power to run some stuff. Even the iPad I have has the power to run some stuff. But unfortunately, because of the software, I can't. This can handle Photoshop. If you don't believe me, like I downloaded Photoshop on there. I don't really use it, but this can handle Photoshop and basic stuff. But let's say you want to learn programming, you can't because it doesn't have the interface. Now, that's why I don't recommend going for 2-in-1s. If you want computer needs, you need to get a laptop until we can find a fix to those issues. So don't get a 2-in-1. Don't get, a tablet and a laptop at the same time. You can get a laptop and further down the line a tablet if you want, because tablets do have, if you want to get a tablet after a laptop, I would suggest you get the iPad. If you want something, you can get the iPad or the Samsung, I don't know. I would suggest you get the iPad because, iOS is, on the iPad, they offer a lot better options on the low end lines, because this is way better than most Android tablets because they're trash at this price point. So yeah, basically that's been it. That's why I don't think you should buy a 2-in-1 just yet. And peace.